Peanut butter, butter cups. Peanut butter, 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 butter. Dude. Peanut butter, 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 butter.
This turns out to be a very special episode. An accidentally thematic episode. I'm pretty sure.
Oh boy.
Your game is discontinued now, right?
No, it's not.
I thought you teased that yours was.
I did not. I'm curious now. What did you think I was playing?
I've
been keeping this a secret all
You
month.
were like, ooh, I'm being all cutesy and weird. And I was like, okay, have fun. And didn't even think about it. I have no idea. You didn't
Did you think I was playing Hi-Fi Rush?
No.
Oh.
No.
I did not.
I think you actually spilled what you did play.
I might have. I hope I didn't.
But yeah, I thought for sure you had said your game was discontinued because my game is discontinued too. And that was 100% unintentional. We didn't, as we just explained, we didn't talk about this at all.
Nope, mine is very much so still available.
Well, that's too bad. What did you play?
You forgetting the intro. I'm one of your hosts, Spencer.
Oh,
Yeah.
1 week he gets me.
True. I am one of your co-hosts, Spencer, joined by Jacob. As he sits in the cuck chair
I'm
in my
in the
bedroom.
cuck chair.
He's in the cuck chair in my bedroom. This is a show about video games and adjacent things.
Made by poor people. That's why we're recording in a bedroom.
True. One day, the studio will be complete when we're 45.
It's been 4 years that we're just waiting for like a cracked out meth head to walk by and break through the window.
That's true.
Someday we'll have like real home security.
You know, for what we've had, we've made a pretty good go at this.
My favorite was when we were in Colin's closet.
Those were the good old days.
When he was in Wesley's room at his parents' house, because it was a nice long closet, and we had you outside of the closet, which is funny because you're the only one that. Anyway.
I'm the only one who belongs in the closet.
Yeah. Colin and I were in the closet. You weren't. It was weird, but
that was a real fun setup. It was so hot in there. That was an unbearable setup, but we had
that's some of the best sound that we had. I want to go back to those days.
It was definitely one of the better setups we've had.
Yeah.
That one episode we did in your parents' basement turned out really well.
Really?
I think so. It was a good experience. We had a good conversation. That's an episode that we basically remade because we rediscussed the topic, but that was episode 2.
It was like 3 hours long, and my parents kept texting me like, can we come home now?
We've been through some adventures.
Yeah.
Anyways, video games.
What did you play?
I played Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh, I've been waiting for you to cover this one.
It's been on my radar since it came out.
That explains why you were talking about the graphics on your potato.
Yes, my potato.
I've been like waiting to play it not on my potato because I heard the graphics were incredible.
Yes. So, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice is a 2017 action-adventure game, I guess, developed and published by Ninja Theory. It has been described by the developers as a independent AAA production, meaning there were, I believe, 20 people who worked on the game, but the way it works and looks is meant to emulate a AAA experience. Mm-hmm. So, aka, they're just crunching like crazy, and they're all artists, which is great. You follow as Senua, I believe, Celtic warrior from one of the bajillions of Celtic tribes who is going to Helheim to go revive your dead lover. Everything else in the story is spoilers.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is spoilers.
Shikuku banane.
Yes. So the primary, I guess, I would say the lasting impact of this game, not including its sequel, is that it is considered one of the most accurate and like well-crafted demonstrations of schizophrenia and various other like schizoaffective disorders in gaming, something that a lot of games do, but basically do as like a pop culture trope, like Lamau, you see hallucinations, whatever. This one, they consulted psychiatrists, they consulted psychologists, and they put a lot of effort into making sure you feel crazy while you're playing the game. And I think it's extremely effective at that. It is technically an action-adventure game. I would argue it is more... I hate to use the term like cinematic walking sim because I find that term is kind of dismissive of what the game is doing. But most of this game is indeed a immersive walking simulator with puzzle combat and then combat. I think that the action adventure and combat is the last tail end of the game. That is the least thought out part of it. The majority of it is presentation. It is entirely motion capture, and it also includes some of those cool like hybrid semi live action segments, like with what Remedy has done. I would say closer to what Remedy did with Control than what they did with Alan Wake 2, but a lot of really cool hybrid technologies. All of the performances are done with motion capture. Fun fact, the actress who plays Senua was just like a staff member who was going to be a placeholder so they could get the game rolling, and they liked her performance so much that they just stuck with her and never looked for anybody else because she was so fucking good, which is awesome. That's a really cool way to like crack into acting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is a mixture of Celtic and Norse mythology. The entire game it starts off with a like 5-minute long immersive voiceover cutscene of you traveling to the undead realms to go figure out how to even get to Helheim so you can go revive your dead boyfriend. You visit a few of the realms. I won't tell you which ones. You encounter a few, I would say, demigods and maybe one of the not capital G gods, one of the larger Norse gods is somewhere in there. It is a lot of blending of culture, which I actually thought was done really well from a general like pop culture, God of War type overview. You have a lot of clashes between the Celtic and Norse traditions, their gods going to war with each other. The difference in aesthetics mesh really, really well. The character of Senua is surprisingly immersive for what is effectively like a trope of the like grieving warrior woman. I feel especially the performance gives a lot of emotional depth to her, especially because you are placed directly in her shoes from the get-go. You experience every thought in her head, literally. There are always voices whispering in your ear telling you, don't do this, do that, don't do that, do this. Some of them sound like you. Some of them sound like other people. Some of them sound like other characters in the game. So as she goes through this quest towards the afterlife, as a willing participant of going into Helheim to go hopefully either settle the soul of her lover or to bring him back. She visits a lot of different realms, and to go through all of that, it's mostly puzzles. Gameplay-wise, it's mostly puzzles. I like them. They do get a little repetitive after a while. They are pretty much all rune puzzles. So you go to an area, say, you have to go defeat Surtur, one of the like demigods of Norse mythology. You have to go to his gate to go enter Hell with one L, and you have to then go through a series of gates to get to the actual boss battle. And between all of these gates, you hit a gate, it'll give you like 3 runic symbols that you can see, and you have to find them within the current arena area. Using the pieces of the environment to line up, pieces of rubble, wreckage, building parts, whatever, to find all the runes. And despite the fact that aesthetically speaking, in the different areas of the game, with the different like challenges and the different, just the different like quests you'll go on, they mostly play out kind of similar. They have a lot of aesthetic differences. The tone will be different. The location will be different. Maybe the way that the mechanic works is different, but the base mechanic is finding like this rune looks like an M. What in this area looks like an M, and at what angle do I have to find it? There is one particular question mark riddle in Batman Arkham Asylum that this immediately reminded me of. There is one in, I don't remember what the location area is, but it's one of, maybe this will spark something in your brain. Maybe 25% of the way through the game, there's a big area with a lot. It's like it almost feels like an office, but it's like a little tower of like cubicles, kind of. It's in one of those like gargoyle open areas. Whatever. There's a particular riddle that requires, aligning the question and the dot, and that's what most of this is. Like a very large amount of it. Some of the puzzles do become more complicated. You will have
kind of like in the Dark Ages when you have to line up the two things and shoot the shield through it.
Yes, I would say a little bit more in depth than that, but yeah, basically that.
Or like the shadow puzzles in Resident Evil 7.
Yes,
I like those a lot.
Yeah.
Does it have a? Is that intentional for like the premise of the story and the schizophrenia? Is it like because you're looking at it from a certain perspective?
Yes, that was my next point.
Thank you.
So part of Senua's character is that she has a sort of sight beyond what most people have. Because she's not from Norse tradition, it's not like considered a part of like Odin's sight, but it's kind of like that. She sees things where other people don't. She'll see faces in waterfalls. She can focus on parts of areas to finish puzzles, and that's part of her using the runes to do the main puzzles. That ability also applies during combat after a certain point, where you can use it as a focus. Basically, it effectively just freezes time for you to do more attack damage. It's a part of her character. It's worked into her struggles with her own mental illnesses, as well as her general. She's just like a really reclusive, depressed person who then lost the only like tether she had to people, in addition to clearly having like schizoaffective disorder. So yeah, she sees things other people don't. She can manipulate the environment in certain ways that require her focus ability. Using the focus ability is also how you focus on the only collectibles in the game, which are like runic obelisks or slabs, where you'll get an explanation from one of the characters in the game who you will hear in your head a lot. Giving you an explanation of various subplots within the game, other characters' journeys, legends surrounding the area you're in, stuff like that. I believe there's like 30 of those in total. On this playthrough, I probably hit like 20 of them. I believe they play out in chronological order. So no matter what order you find them in the game, you will always get the story explained in the same order, if that makes sense. Like if you hit 1, 3, and 5, you're still getting the dialogue of 1, 2, and 3, if that makes sense. Which I do think is actually a good call for that, because a lot of these stories connect to each other and are very specific. So I think that being able to overlook some of them so dramatically, if you just breeze through an area for some reason without looking around or whatever, and missing out on a lot of that information can be, I think, would be very, very upsetting and annoying. So I think trying to keep the player as up to date as possible when they find these sorts of runic obelisks is very important. It's the only collectible in the game, which is nice. Outside of the primary gameplay being walking and puzzles, the third element, I guess, would be combat. It's really simple hack and slash combat. It's, I believe, hitbox based. You have one button for a light attack, one button for a heavy attack. You can dodge, you can parry, you can use your focus ability to freeze time for a second to get in some critical strikes on certain types of enemies. There are basic grunt type fodder, some enemies that have shields, some enemies that have some enemies that just fodder, some bigger enemies, and then some enemies that have shields. The ones with shields are actually a fucking bitch to take down. I hate them.
Usually. I hate shielded enemies in most games.
They're particularly difficult in this one. And then you have your boss fights. A lot of the boss fights are, I think, actually pretty well planned out. their ability set works well into what the character's ethos is. So say, I've already said that Surtur is in this game. So when trying to fight Surtur, he a big sword, he's on fire, blah, blah, blah. He has an AoE attack that you have to dodge out of the way of. He has some sword strikes that, because his sword is so much bigger than you, you can't like dodge it. I mean, you can't parry it. You have to dodge it. Stuff like that. I think most of it's really simple, but I think it works very well. None of the boss fights felt cheesy, like I had to break them to make them work, but it also didn't feel like I died in an unnecessary number of times. The death system in the game is really cool, actually, because all of this takes place outside of what's the term, the Norse term for Earth? What's
Midgard.
that? Midgard. There we go. All of this takes place outside of Midgard, so reality is all funny and warpy and googly and silly. So because so much of this quest is you delving into your own darkness and your own trauma and your own histories to go through these challenges, the darkness will consume you when you die. You get like infected by the darkness, and it'll start like creeping up your arm with every death. I really like that as a mechanic. It feels well thought out. It doesn't feel cheap. There is no, as far as I know, it doesn't affect anything. I didn't die enough times for it to like take over my whole body or whatever. So I don't actually know if it will do that eventually, but it felt really good. The first couple times I died, to see the slithering ooze goop up my arm a little bit further, I was like, oh shit, this is getting serious. I like that. The majority of, I think, this game's acclaim comes from its graphics and presentation. It's fucking astounding. I ran this on low settings at 30 FPS on my potato PC, my laptop. And despite it having some really serious frame rate problems, it still looked at least as good as like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is my closest comparison, because of the aesthetic similarities, which looked pretty good. I cannot imagine how good this looks on the most updated hardware, or even on a console that can just stabilize everything. The motion capture, the graphical, like, fabric and texture simulations are fucking astounding. My playthrough had a lot of frame rate problems. I am 100% just putting that on my PC not being able to lock the fuck in. It did become frustrating at times during combat, especially, but you can tell when it's the game and when it's the PC, if that makes sense. The general fidelity, it was made in Unreal Engine 4, and you can tell it looks lifelike in pretty much every aspect. Proportion, facial animations, the motion capture work, everything. Like this, there's a reason why this game opens up with a trigger warning for people who have like epilepsy and like any sort of like schizoaffective disorder. It's really immersive, and it's really disturbing if you're in the wrong headspace. I do not find it grotesque. It is not horrific. You know, it's not like a horror game, but it has a lot of dread and pain kind of built in, and it feels genuine. I don't know how else to express that beyond like, it never feels cheap or unearned when it bends reality around you, or it makes Senua have a breakdown or anything like that. It always feels extremely well presented and well written into the character and how you've been playing the game. It took me 8 to 10 hours to complete my run through. I did not get all of the collectibles. Again, there's maybe 30 of them in total, just randomly scattered throughout the levels. The combat is also adaptive. So there isn't a, like, you can start a hard playthrough or a super nightmare ultra mega playthrough. You can either just choose combat difficulty within the menu settings, or you can just choose adaptive, so it will kind of feel where you're at and it won't fuck you over, because the primary drive is the story, and the storytelling and the environments.
Colin is the methed up crackhead crashing through our window.
At all times, yes. I knew when this game came out I was going to like it. It's been 7 years, which is insane.
It seems like a short amount of time. I would have guessed 10. It's been a while.
It's been a good bit, and then the sequel came out earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
Yes, which is in Unreal Engine 5.
I thought that was last year.
This year has felt weird for games.
Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
And we're on a spiral.
The only, I guess, criticisms that I have are more so because I can compare it to other things. I think the combat is pretty simple. I think it works well for the game. I think it does its job. It's well executed. But I do think that it could be elaborated on. I think that the puzzles can get a little repetitive, especially if you're in a long play session. You know, there's so many areas and different realms to go through with different aesthetics, but a lot of the puzzles boil down to a lot of the same logic. This was phenomenal. Like, I believe this won multiple awards that the year it came out for a reason. Uh-huh. I do wholeheartedly agree. And that's after playing it on my potato PC with none of the real graphical shine the game has. Like, I played it on base settings so it would function.
I want to say that it did something for, like, the technology of eyes in games. Like,
that sounds familiar.
I think they had a hand in that.
That definitely sounds familiar. Even without, like, with reducing so much of the shine and, like, bluster of the game, it still feels so good. Even when I'm having constant frame rate drops during combat and I'm dying because of frame rate problems and reaction time issues, I still fucking loved it. I am going to immediately replay this on a console when I get one. Like, I cannot wait to look at how fucking amazing it looks.
Yeah.
It also does the kind of, I guess at the time, very popular, like, singular continuous shot over the shoulder, like your God of Wars, you know, just one big long take type stuff. I think it really does a really good job of hiding loading screens. Like, I actually can't think of any. It'll have doors you have to wait to open, but there are none of those, I gotta shimmy through this little tunnel or whatever. It's got none of that. This was a fucking amazing experience. Again, on a somewhat oldish laptop without proper graphical capacity. It was free on Game Pass.
Wow.
I will buy it if I need to. I will absolutely buy it for up to like $30. As far as I know, there is no DLC. There was never any DLC planned. It is just a singular experience made by like 20 or so people. And they got a big old budget upgrade for the next game, which I will talk about in the coming months. I very much so plan on doing that.
Moving on to the news. I never remember if we do the show or the news first. It doesn't matter.
It always alternates and it doesn't matter.
From GameSpot.com, Marvel 1943: Rise of Hydra has been delayed and is not coming out this year. That's incredible. No one could have guessed. Publisher Skydance has announced that the game is now coming out in, quote, early 2026. Taking this additional time will allow us to add more polish and make sure we give you the best possible experience and one that lives up to our vision. The company said we have some exciting things in store and look forward to sharing more soon. Yay.
Delays are always good.
Yeah.
Frustrating, but good. That initial reveal teaser trailer was astounding. So
I don't even go so far as to say frustrating. Like, the GTA 6 delay, I don't give a fuck about. It's after knowing, having an idea of how big GTA 5 is, like, it's completely understandable that it's taking this long to put another one out. Like, I don't understand why people are so upset. Like,
yeah.
There was a tweet by Rockstar being spread around on Reddit, and I don't know if it's real or not because it was full of the fuck word. But it was like basically saying we're trying to avoid being the next Cyberpunk 2077. And it's like, yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. I do think you need to stop announcing games so early that you inevitably have to delay them.
We're looking at you, Elder Scrolls 7 or whatever.
6, yeah. But out of the recent batch of Marvel property games that have been announced, I'm really glad that this one seems to be coming to fruition.
Yeah.
Like the Iron Man one, I think is still in development. Maybe the Black Panther one I haven't heard anything about in ages. Blade was announced and I haven't seen shit since.
I thought this was the Black Panther and Captain America.
Yes, there's a separate Black Panther.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is the one I was the most interested in. The announcement material got me really excited, so I'm very cool with it.
You also have the Marvel Tokon Street Fighter fighting thing, the anime.
Yes, that's coming real soon.
And I hadn't seen a whole lot since the announcement, but the announcement wasn't too long ago. But I got into the beta program. I get to play that next weekend.
You fucking cunt.
It's incredible, too, because I'm not great at fighting games. So I'm going to pop in and play a couple rounds and be like, wow, I suck.
From HollywoodReporter.com, Death Stranding fans rejoice. Hideo Kojima's groundbreaking video game franchise is set to expand with an all-new animated series that's heading to Disney+. This genuinely took me by surprise.
Yeah, I read it a couple of times, like, what?
At Disney's Asia Pacific Originals Content Showcase in Hong Kong, Kojima made a surprise appearance to announce the new show, Death Stranding Isolation's working title, that is scheduled to hit Disney Plus in 2077. Asked why he was working with Disney, Kojima said that he was a longtime fan of the company and worked with them on the 2023 documentary Hideo Kojima Connecting Worlds. He added that Disney approached him about the project while working on the documentary. As for his motivation for making the series, Kojima said that he realized there were people who may not play video games and he wanted to share the world of Death Stranding with more people. The series will utilize traditional hand-drawn 2D animation style with E&H Production, known for Ninja Kumai and Red Cat Ramen, one of Japan's top animation studios, currently working on the project. Disney Plus also provided a brief outline of the series. Set in the world of Death Stranding Isolation's working title will tell a completely new story separate from that of the video games. The upcoming series will follow a young man and woman as they set out for an adventure. Took me by surprise, but also in the grand scale of things isn't actually that surprising. We have the games, which are already extremely cinematic. We have a film adaptation. We have the anime, the anime film that's coming up pretty soon. And now we have an anime series. I'm not surprised.
Kojima fucking around in this world is really putting the gun to my head of actually starting to play the first game.
You should do it. I've heard good things. Like yes, it does have the things
you have
that
to play 30 hours of walking and falling down rocks to get to the good part, and I just don't. I really struggle with games where it's like, yeah. After the first 100 hours, it gets good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'll get to it.
Do you want to give me the next one
Yep.
so you don't have to? I figured. From HaloWaypoint.com. We're pleased to announce that our next game, Halo Campaign Evolved, will be a ground-up remake of Halo Combat Evolved's genre-defining campaign coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation in 2026. Featuring new missions, expanded gameplay, 2-player split screen on consoles.
Holy shit! I didn't know that part.
Told you. Online and network co-op up to 4 players for console and PC, and seamless cross-platform play with shared progression. It will be the definitive return trip through one of gaming's greatest journeys. Halo Campaign Evolve expands the Master Chief's original adventure with new missions, enhanced cinematics, more weapons, vehicle improvements, and more skulls than ever. New missions. Fight beside Sergeant Avery Johnson, one of the Master Chief's most beloved and stalwart allies, as you encounter new environments, enemies, environments, and dangers in 3 new missions set before the events of Combat Evolved.
It new characters. You said environments twice.
Did I say?
Yep. It's okay. Continue.
The stunning cinematics. Battle through all of Halo Combat Evolved's iconic moments with enhanced cinematics featuring new motion capture animations and freshly recorded dialogue from returning cast members. Enhanced audio. Immerse yourself in heroic exploits with a remastered soundtrack and fully rebuilt sound design that brings Halo's unmistakable weapons and vehicles to life in stunning fidelity. Just listen to those glorious hunters shoot. Expanded arsenal. Wield 9 additional weapons from the Halo universe for the first time in Combat Evolved. Battle the Covenant with the Energy Sword, Battle Rifle, Needle Rifle, and more instantly recognizable Halo weapons alongside tried and true standbys from the Master Chief's first journey.
That's a good call. I've seen a lot about that. Like, it makes perfect sense to put in, like, the grenade launcher and things like that.
Yeah. Vehicle upgrades. For the first time in Combat Evolved, the Master Chief can hijack nearby enemy vehicles and add range to his repertoire at the helm of a Wraith tank. Better still, the dependable Warthog now boasts an additional seat on the rear bumper, so your whole four-player fire team can ride out together. Dozens of skulls. Return to any mission in Halo Campaign Evolved and remix your experience with the most gameplay-modifying skulls of any Halo campaign. Activate skulls for randomized weapons, altered enemy behaviors, player attributes, environmental effects, and more. Everybody's invited to this mission. For the first time in Halo history, Halo Campaign Evolved allows players to seamlessly squad up with friends playing on PC, Xbox Series consoles, and PlayStation 5 in both online and networked co-op for up to 4 players. Console versions will support 2-player split screen for a fully immersive nostalgia factor. Conquer all 13 campaign missions with a friend from the classic confines of your favorite couch on both Series X/S and PlayStation 5. Stay tuned to Halo Waypoint for updates on Campaign Evolved, coming to Xbox Series consoles, PC, and PS5 in 2026. So with this, we got an announcement teaser as well as like 10-ish minutes of gameplay footage of the Silent Cartographer. With my big brain, it seems to be that the majority of the assets are being pulled from Infinite while running on Reach's AI. For the most part. There's definitely some original stuff in here. There was also a really big beta test at a convention for a lot of diehard Halo like YouTubers and shit to take in feedback and all that stuff. It wasn't mentioned in the article, but Sprint is in the game, but it's also entirely optional. You can remove it in your options menu, so it's just not even available anymore.
Does it make the sound effect? That's what I want to know. Which Sprint sound effect do we get?
I couldn't tell you.
Is it the fat ass asthmatic from Reach?
No. I am hesitantly positive about this. When this was leaked like a year ago, I was really hesitant because Combat Evolved Anniversary was a really mixed experience, and I do think that going back to the remaster/remake usually means a franchise is in trouble territory, but Halo's been in trouble territory since 2014, so I get it. It seems to be it is running on Unreal Engine 5 for all of its graphical stuff, so it does have a little bit of that Unreal Engine shine to it, which I get that some people have problems with. I don't mind it. It seems to be moderated with the art style. I'm generally positive. Like, I think a lot of the quirks and difficulties that came out during the gameplay testing will be ironed out to an extent. I'm more impressed with how much of an actual remake and expansion it is, even if it isn't what I would want or what I would ask for. They're adding in multiple missions. They're putting in a bunch of the classic weapons from that time period, from like Reach and Halo 2, just into Combat Evolved. Not focusing on multiplayer whatsoever. One of the things that CEA had a problem with was it didn't have its own multiplayer. It added like content to Reach with like classic guns and some new maps and stuff. So I think exclusively focusing on the campaign is a good call. And now that Halo is moving forward with using the Unreal Engine 5, and I would assume 6 whenever that happens, rather than the classic Halo engine, it's been running for 20 fucking years, this feels like a decent idea to kind of fuck around, like for the developers at what is now Halo Studios to dick around, figure out what works, what doesn't, what people respond to well, and how to kind of move forward from here. So as long as it's priced reasonably and is functional on launch, I will be at least moderately okay. Please be under $50. Over 50, I'm not buying it until it's under 50. Like that's my cap.
I'll probably get it at 40 if it's good.
40 is I think would be my preference. If I had full control, magic control, 40 seems doable. 50 is pushing it. I'm just glad to see something because we're in kind of a drought again. Like between Halo 5 and Infinite, there was a really, really big drought, and there's been a drought since Infinite came out of any new progress on future projects. So I'm glad that we're kind of slowly starting to move forward.
This has me interested, but not too terribly, of looking into the lore and trying to figure out what they could do next. Because I would say another Reach-style prequel. And that's what the rumors have been about, like, the new levels that are getting added is, like, they're going to go in between Reach and CE and explain how Cortana gets from A to B and why.
Yeah, there's a whole book about, I believe it's First Strike. The early Halo books are fucking phenomenal sci-fi writing, by the way. But there is established like lore for how like Johnson and Chief meet. There's a lot of stuff to pull from there.
Yeah. So I would think just go back there and try to make a good a good story campaign. I don't know. Whatever. Not my series.
It's fine.
From Deadline.com. Oh, I saw this online. I was just bouncing around and I saw this and I was like, what? No way. And then I actually read the news that you had sent the day before. I was like, oh yeah, it's right there. Wow, it's real. FX has given a series order to Far Cry based on the popular video game franchise. The limited anthology series hails from Noah Hawley, known for Fargo and Alien Earth, and It's Always Sunny creator Rob Mack, with Mack set to star. The series will stream on Hulu in the US and Disney Plus internationally. Each season will retain Far Cry's signature standalone storytelling format, according to producers, with each season set in a new setting following a new cast of characters. That is a strange sentence because it's saying there's going to be more than one season, like right off the rip. It only just got announced and they're saying they're doing at least 2, if not more.
Yeah. It's a weird announcement, but this sounds actually pretty promising. Like, we have a good showrunner. We have a good, like, comedic sensibility with Rob Mack. And one of the things, despite the fact that Far Cry has really degraded in quality while under Ubisoft's tenure, the thing that is most intriguing is that it has a different setting for each game. Like a very different environment and characters. That's appealing as like a TV show. That sounds like not a bad idea. And I think somebody, I don't know.
Usually they have pretty decent like story elements that will be fun to hit on. Like 4 at least is around resistance against an alien, another country's like government. Like, I don't know. I think there's more than one that does that.
There's a lot of background politics to Far Cry. It's just a matter of like the gameplay, low key, high key, actually sucks dong. So like nobody gives a shit. But like there's a lot of like conceptual good shit going on.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting.
And I think that could very easily translate much better into an anthology show.
Do you think they'll do Primal?
No, I don't. I don't think they'll do Primal. I don't know. I wasn't surprised when I saw this, but I will look forward to this.
Yeah.
It sounds promising. You know, Far Cry, I liked a few of them But like every new entry is just more disappointing than the last in terms of gameplay and how it actually uses its concepts. Like the past 3-4 of them, they have great base concepts and a cool setting, and then the story meanders into nothing.
Yeah.
You know? And like condensing that down, removing the gameplay part and just focusing on the story of the setting and the characters. Sound like a really good plan to me.
It's also just kind of hurt itself that it's just so open world. It's right there with how Ghost Recon devolved into just get in the helicopter, blow everything up, follow the objective marker.
Yeah.
It's too open world.
Mm-hmm. It's been too open world since 4.
Yeah.
And that's like 6 games ago.
I played a lot of 4. I dabbled with Blood Dragon, but it didn't tickle my fancy. And I've tried 3 a couple of times, and it's got a weird, like, you have to log into EA on your PlayStation, and it just doesn't fucking work. So I've never been able to play 3, but 4 is like the only one I've actually put quality time into. What about you?
I've touched the original pre-Ubisoft, so the first like 2.
Yeah.
Touched, not played that much. I played 3 a little bit. I touched 4 when it came out. I was really excited for 5 based on its premise, and then I heard it just meandered into nothingness, and I got really fucking pissed. So I didn't end up buying it.
Yeah.
Same thing with 6. I liked Primal. Primal was fucking weird, dude. It was really weird, but I did like it.
It just copied... It was like a direct copy and paste of 4's map?
Yeah, it was like 4's map with like arc mechanics, but it didn't have such a meandering story to waste its potential on. So at least it was entertaining while it was there.
Weird.
And I didn't touch the DLC for 4 at all, or the DLC for 5, whatever the fuck, the stupid side game that I didn't touch that at all. So I don't know. It sounds decent. It sounds like a decent way to use what juice is in there. From Kotaku.com, Crystal Dynamics is undergoing another round of cuts. It was revealed that nearly 30 more developers would be laid off as the company restructures for the future. Specifically, it claims the cuts were necessary to optimize the continued development of our flagship Tomb Raider game. The Amazon Games-backed project was announced 3 years ago, and still no official details have been shared, although Kotaku understands its development has been challenging as Crystal Dynamics tried to push the franchise in the direction of an open-world experience. It's the 3rd round of layoffs this year and comes only months after cuts that were made due to Microsoft's cancellation of Perfect Dark, which Crystal Dynamics was doing the bulk of development on. The studio has been part of Embracer Group since it was sold by Square Enix as part of a $300 million package back in 2022. Its publisher partner for Tomb Raider, Amazon Games, recently underwent its own mass layoffs and announced it was taking a step back from certain internally developed AAA games. I really hope this thing still pans out. This is getting worrying. We haven't had a Tomb Raider game in like 6 years. 5-6 years?
Something like that.
Yeah, like we've had the 2 remastered collections, which have a positive reception from what I can tell. But
I don't think that was Crystal Dynamics, though.
No, it's not. It's just like, it just has the IP. Like the last new game was Shadow. Shadow was like mid plus positive, and that was maybe 2021, maybe.
I thought it was like 18 or 19.
I think it was 19, but like it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of stuff going on with Crystal Dynamics, and like from a story point of view, I can understand why it would take a while to figure out how to kind of blend the different eras, and they have all the adaptation stuff going on in the background. Like Amazon is producing the Prime TV show. We have the Netflix anime. I get that, but
I think Crystal Dynamics did Hitman 3 in the meantime, at the very least.
That sounds about right.
So there's some of the time of like what they've been working on, but it has been a long stretch.
It's been a long stretch. I really hope we hear something official soon.
From Polygon.com, this is the last bit of news. Valve revealed its next batch of at-home hardware, including a new take on the Steam Machine, a gaming PC that's intended to be used like a console. Also revealed were the Steam Frame, which is Valve's next VR headset that literally nobody gave a shit about, and a new Steam controller, all of which are planned to ship in, quote, early 2026. Valve said in a news release that it will share more specific timing after the first of the year. Valve has not yet revealed the prices for any of these things, but all are available to wishlist via Steam. The cube-shaped Steam Machine will come with Steam OS, is optimized for playing games, and is designed to sit by your TV like a game console or on your desk like a gaming PC. Because it's a PC, you can install other apps and programs or a different operating system. And, like the Steam Deck, all you have to do is sign into your Steam account to access all the games in your Steam library. Steam Machine will come with a semi-custom AMD Zen 46C12T up to 4.8 gigahertz, 30 watts, a semi-custom graphics card by AMD, and 16 gigabytes of DDR5 plus 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 VRAM. There will be two models, a 512 gig and a 2 terabyte model, both with slots for high-speed micro SD cards. I thought you were peeling your phone apart. It sounded like the case coming apart. Valve notes Steam Machine contains 6 times the horsepower of its handheld device, the Steam Deck. The Steam Frame headset is intended to stream all of your Steam games, not just VR-specific titles. It's described as comfortable, wireless, lightweight, and supports controller input for regular PC games and VR games. Valve describes it as streaming first and a PC itself powered by a Snapdragon processor.
Gabe Cube. I'm really excited for this, actually.
Yeah, that's been the general sentiment about it, is like, this is necessary, especially with like the console wars seemingly dead because Xbox gave up.
Pretty much. And like the console's pretty much just turning into PCs anyways.
Yeah.
If it functions as advertised, it has the tech specs as they say it is, I want this.
I've seen people saying that it's more than a console, like kind of hinting that it's going to cost more than a console. It sounds like
it's going to be between like $700 and $800.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I will probably hit for a sale and consider reasonable.
Yeah.
As long as it works, everything functions fine. I don't like the new controller they have for it. I'll just get a bootleg Xbox controller. I don't care.
Or even just a real Xbox
controller. That's fine. Like the size is impressive. It's like this big.
Yeah.
You know, like half the size of an actual Xbox.
Like an actual GameCube size.
Yeah, like it's pretty small. They have a bunch of they're pushing a bunch of customizability for the faceplates, which is really reminiscent of like early Xbox 360 stuff.
It's what PlayStation said they were going to do with the 5.
And they never did.
Haven't.
Yeah.
And then sued D-Brand for.
Yeah. There are so many PC games or PC exclusive games or even things I just own on PC I want to play, but because I despise like keyboard and mouse and my brain refuses to understand how to do it intuitively outside of some games, I kind of need this. Like, I want to be able to play Crysis, but with a controller. Like, Crysis doesn't run well on consoles. It runs well on PC. It's an ancient game, but it still is, like, graphically beyond the pale. I need it to function on a PC, but translate to a controller that I can plug into my TV. I need that.
Imagine getting Xbox Game Pass Ultimate and playing that on your Steam machine.
It's heresy, but I'll do it. I don't care. Like, this is there's so many side development Stream Deck, Steam Deck, whatever. Like every 5 minutes, there's like 4 unofficial Xbox handheld versions now from like the partner companies of Microsoft. But Steam is like one of the only ones that has any like real clout within the main gaming sphere. If this pans out well, like this might be it.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Fuck it. I'm done. I'll still color it green. I'll still have my Xbox account. Everything will be green.
I'll come home to find you just with green markers on your GameCube.
Absolutely. That's fine. I'll customize it.
I'm gonna make a Master Chief green.
I fucking will. I'll make my Steam box look like a fucking Spartan. I don't care. But
oh, imagine a skin comes out to make it look like the Spark. That'd be funny.
Just make it look like the companion cube from Portal, and I'm happy. That would be nice. That would be really nice.
It's a legit thing already.
Is it legit already?
Yeah, I sent it to you. D-Brand made the skins.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is just what all consoles have turned into anyways, really. Like, when you remove the bluster and the bloatware, they're really just PCs.
Yep.
So, like, having it be an open... You can download all your shit. You can also download all the apps you want. It is a PC, but like made for gaming through a controller. It is not primarily designed to be used with keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
I'm so on board with this.
Although you can
use it. It's just not like
it doesn't have to be.
Right. Like
it's not locked in.
That's my biggest thing. Like I was ruined. I played a GameCube first and then a Sega Genesis. I have to have a controller. PC controls drive me nuts. Even games that are like games that are exclusive to PC controls break my brain. Like playing like a top-down dungeon crawler, I hate still using PC controls. It's so unintuitive to me. I'm broken. That's a me problem.
It's hard to play those games with a controller though, because you have the different like toolbars and whatever. It's just really tough.
I know. This could fix me.
You know what can't be fixed?
I have to piss.
That can be fixed, actually.
Yes, it can.
Something you can't fix.
Splinter Cell Deathwatch Season 1.
Oh, you have the Metro games. Those are snowy-ish.
That's true. That's more like post-apocalyptic nuclear ash.
Yeah, but it looks snowy. It's close enough. Maybe I'll do that. Something you can't fix is called Splinter Cell Deathwatch. Night Watch. I don't know. I did not enjoy this at all. I did not care from the start, and as it went on, I cared even less. If I had to recap the story, I would say it's the same plot as Polar with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
He's the guy, and he's like 50 years older from when you played him in any of his games, and people are trying to kill him because he used to be the guy, and there's other characters we're supposed to care about, and they do a big romp.
That covers it. I think I liked it a little bit more than you did, but I was not very well impressed.
No.
It is produced by a different studio than the Tomb Raider series, but it feels very animation similar.
Yeah.
Like very same style of American version of animation from Japan, similar structure. There's
color scheme.
Same thing with the Devil May Cry, which came out also pretty recently, which did not get a good reception. Unlike Deathwatch did get a pretty good reception. It's been renewed for a second season.
Ugh.
I never got into Splinter Cell.
It's got a cool aesthetic.
It does.
And they didn't have that really in this. I think he had the tri-eye goggle thing like twice.
Yeah. I am cultural osmosis. I've read a couple of Tom Clancy books. I'm vaguely aware of some of the games. I think I played like New Vegas or whatever the fuck that stupid.
That's Rainbow Six.
Yeah, whatever. I don't fucking know. It's all Tom Clancy.
Sort of.
Sort of. Yeah, exactly. Sort of. I didn't play any of the the games that this is like continuing on. I liked Liev Schreiber in the lead performance. That was my only real takeaway. He was good.
The opening scene was cool because it was based on mechanics from the game where you're trying to sneak around and like you're tracking the noise that you make and the noise that other people are making, and constantly being in the shadows. There's like a meter of like how visible you are per the light that you're standing in or whatever. So it was like a promising start, but that was really all we got. The rest of it was just generic spy shit.
It was like, oh, and this person works for this organization but secretly works for this one. It's like, I don't know any of these names. None of these like people or companies or organizations really mean anything to me. Maybe it would mean more if I was more familiar with the Splinter Cell games, but I just didn't. It wasn't intriguing.
Did you get your rocks off when they deleted the 1%ers?
Yes.
Okay.
That was like the only part that I was like, yeah, hell yeah, brother. And that was about it.
It was like, okay, and then...
yeah. There was not any real follow through on that.
No.
It this really fills in like the it's watchable category, like
as I'm sorting magic cards and checking my phone.
Yeah, like it's background noise. It's not horrible background noise. Every once in a while, some of the action scenes I thought were pretty cool, but nothing like astounding. I found the characters far less engaging than the ones I did in the Tomb Raider show, just because it's the next closest comparison. And even that one I didn't love. I just kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Netflix is really leaning into these like game continuation anime inspired animated shows, and I hope that they get a little better, because like we had one that was like fine, one that was not great, this one, and we had Devil May Cry, which is pretty well considered to be bad.
Castlevania
is fucking goated.
Yeah,
but like they're distinctly separate.
Yeah, for sure. We need something different.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the Minecraft movie?
Dude, unironically, if we get fucked up and do that, like, I think that could be a good time. I'm not joking. Like, with the bits I've seen and the people that I know who have watched it, even if you have zero attachment to Minecraft, like, it's got enough stupid fucking bullshit. You can find some crass drunkard at the theater enjoyment to it.
Ugh. It's either that or F1, and that one's just going to put me to sleep. Not F1, the
other one.
The
next,
Gran Turismo.
But our next one is going to be Fallout Season 2.
That's right! That comes out this week, Thursday.
Yeah,
yes!
That'll be a good time.
Oh, thankfully.
Yes.
Something good.
Praise the maker.
The marker.
The marker. From Dead Space.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This was pretty disappointing.
Yep.
And that's from someone with no familiarity. I just like spy shit. I know Sam Fisher because of iconography, and this was like, okay.
I think I tried playing the first one on PC, and it's very, very similar, like, in my mind as, like, the first Deus Ex, where it's, like, the controls make zero fucking sense. It's, like, unplayable, and it's so old you can't remap controls or anything, so I just gave up. But I have a copy of it for my GameCube that I just got running like last week. So hopefully I can actually figure out how to play it and do something fun someday.
Nice.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a guess of what I did?
I fucking don't, dude. You've been so random in the past few months and so obscure about what the fuck you're doing. I have no clue what's going on anymore.
I'm not like other girls.
You're not. You're a dude.
I played John Wick Hex.
What the fuck, dude?
From 2019.
That's so fucking random.
Thank you.
What the fuck? I knew this game existed, but like, what the fuck, dude?
It's
like a puzzle shooter.
It was developed by Bithell Games, which I've never heard of before. And like the main guy, his last name is Bithell, so I'm assuming it's just some guy. It was published by Good Shepherd Entertainment from 2019 when it came out, all the way up until 2024 or 25, because Wikipedia is telling me that Big Fan Games took it over for publishing rights and then immediately discontinued it on July 17th of this year. But also those two, Good Shepherd and Big Fan, are like shell companies of Devolver Digital or something. I don't know. This is all coming from Wikipedia. It smells fishy. And they didn't even give a reason for delisting it. Everybody, like Polygon, just assumed that it's because the rights to the movie property expired or whatever. But nobody knows. As you said, this is kind of like a board game picture, like Catan or something like that.
So fucking weird, dude.
Hex movement. So, like those super ultra nerds that play D&D with like a map and like 3D printed rooms that you walk through and stuff. That's what this is. Picture that and like super hot movement. When you're moving, that's how time progresses. So it's very fast paced when you put it all together. But as you're playing it, you can take your time and move slowly and methodically. So you click the little pips, the little hexagons to move. You're trying to reach an endpoint. And as you move, all the other bad guys in the room move as you're moving. You're trying to get to the endpoint of the room.
Do you even play as John Wick?
Yes, you do. So this is a prequel to the first movie.
So is this like his last job before he gets out?
I think so.
Okay.
John Wick. Hex is a bad guy. He's the main villain, and he's apparently kidnapped the fucking old guy, and
Willem Dafoe.
No.
Yeah,
that guy.
Ian McShane.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Him and Lance Reddick.
No, not my boy.
Yeah, they're both like kidnapped by the villain, sort of, but they're just like chilling in his study, smoking cigars and like posturizing about like, yes, so what would you do as a villain and whatever. I don't know. The dialogue didn't make any sense. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? But John has to go find them and rescue them and shoot the bad guy dead.
Does this actually have a vocal performance from Lance Reddick?
And Ian McShane.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
So this would have been one of his last performances before he died?
No, yeah. This came out shortly before 3.
That's sad.
Yep.
I missed that guy.
He died right before 4 came out, or right after 4 came out?
Right after 4, yeah. I think I believe they changed what happened in 4 because he was dying.
Yeah.
Dude, he was so fucking goated.
Yep. I miss him very much.
Yeah.
He was a great actor and played in a lot of things that I care about.
A lot of stuff.
Does
that mean he was in Firefly?
Not that I know of, but he was the kick-ass Titan in Destiny.
Yeah, the only interesting Destiny character.
That's not true. You had Rosario Dawson as the main warlock lady?
Uh-huh.
Is it Rosario or is it the other one?
I think so, but like Lance Reddick is well above her level.
She's great though. Anyway. Back to gameplay. Nope, sorry. The game is split up into 5 levels. John Wick is starting out in New York City, making his way to where the bad guy is. And the levels are like basically one continuous journey. Each level is split up into 5, maybe 6 pieces, like 6 rooms basically per level. Each level you have a set amount of continental coins that you can spend for buffs. And those buffs changed each level. The first level only had like 3 to choose from. By the third one, there were 6, but you could only choose 2 because you didn't have enough continental points, basically.
Save up your hotel rewards points, boys.
You can't. They don't carry over between levels. You have to spend them now, and they're intentionally like throttled so that you only have a couple of choices to make. But they did really minimal, like, rolling costs one less action point or whatever, or things like that. So it was like, whatever, pretty forgettable. Each room basically like picks up right where you left off from the last one, as far as like your inventory and continuity. Like in the story, you could see into the last room that you were in from the room that you just entered. There's a timeline on top of your screen showing you how long actions will take, and it'll show you like the closest enemy, like what his actions will do on the timeline, because time is stopped unless you're moving. You have a choice of actions. You can hit somebody, like punch them. You can like grab their collar and push them like he does in the movies. You can take them down in like an animation-based takedown. You can parry their punch if that's what they're doing and you don't have enough time to do anything else. You can shoot them, obviously, or you can throw your gun. Those are your six options for actions besides movement. The bottom of the screen shows your inventory, basically. So it shows how much ammo you have in your gun. Your starting weapon comes with 1 spare magazine, maybe 2. And reloading 1 takes time, but also gets rid of any ammo that's still in the last magazine, like it would in real life if you just dumped your magazine. It's not like a magical Call of Duty magazine. It shows your health. I think you have 10 hit points, but you also have bandages. I think you start with 2 per level. There's a chance to pick up more through the level, but it's not guaranteed. You have focus points. You can crouch, which raises your accuracy when you're shooting, and it also makes you a harder target to hit. And you can wait. You can just spend time and hope that an enemy moves or whatever, reacts to you just sitting there and waiting. When you're crouched, you can roll, I think, 2 spaces in different directions. And that gives you like iframes to dodge being shot at. It will hopefully move you behind cover. Takedowns, you have to choose where you're going to end up standing after the enemy has been taken down. Enemies drop weapons, of course, and I found it frustrating that if you pick up their weapon, even if it's like the same ammo type as yours, you'll lose like any magazines that you have. You can't just grab the magazine out of their gun. You just pick up their gun with 3 bullets left in it or whatever. And that was kind of frustrating. That felt antithetical to John Wick. He would just like pick up magazines, I would think, instead of throwing away everything he has for a couple of shots. And that made the gameplay harder. The further you go into the game, the more weapons they introduce. But overall, there's only 5 weapons. There's a pistol, a revolver, an SMG, a submachine gun, and like a AR type rifle. I think that's it. There wasn't even a shotgun as far as I remember. And there's only 5 levels. It was frustrating sometimes trying to find where the endpoint of the room is. It wasn't very clearly marked. It just drops you into the room and says, okay, have fun. So you have to like scroll around and be like, oh, that's where I'm trying to go. There are doors that you can't go in, but enemies come out of, and they're clearly marked with like a light showing from under the door of like, this is a door where an enemy is going to come through. And I don't know if the respawns were limited or not, but it felt like a lot of enemies in each room as the game went on. I only got to the 3rd level. I almost beat it once. I tried it several times, and I just fucking can't. I had a hard time with it. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of enemies. Even if you just book it to the end point, you can't just leave. It'll say there's enemies close by or whatever, and they don't follow into the next room with you, so you have to like clear the surrounding area at the very least to move on to the next room. Like I said, bandages are hard to come by, and ammo eventually gets pretty hard to come by. It's by the time you get to the boss at the end of the level, you're like really low on everything. I had a hard time with this game. A couple of reviews I looked up said that it was really easy to trick the AI. If you just like dance around a coffee table, it confuses their mapping. They don't just follow you and gun you down. But I wasn't willing to do that. I was trying to play the game earnestly, and that's what made it hard because I didn't cheat it or cheese it. Each enemy obviously has health. I think most of the enemies that I saw had like 3 bars of health. Some of them were 4, and some of those I would perform a takedown on and do 3 damage to, so they obviously have 1 left. So they're stunned at the end of the takedown, and they're on the ground on their back. So I would be like, okay, punch them one more time to do that 1 last bit of damage, and punching them would make them suddenly stand up and go through the getting punched animation. It was a really janky animation change between those two. But the rest of it looked pretty good. The mix of move, crouch, shoot, pivot, shoot, stand, reload, move, like it's a fun game. It makes you think about the movies and like the tactics that John Wick is hypothetically thinking about going through those action scenes. It makes you think about like what he's thinking better as you're playing this game, and like really appreciating those scenes more. At the end of a room, you have the option to watch the recap of what you just did in normal time without all the pauses. And that's a cool idea. But because of the hex base layout of the game, John moves in like really wonky turns, and the animation of like the whole thing playing through looks super janky. It doesn't look good at all. It's a really good idea. Like if they had that in XCOM, it would be really cool, because you would just watch your guys spread out and move tactically and take things down and hit the end goal in a couple minutes, like 2 minutes, despite it taking you a half an hour to play through that level. But in this, because of the hex-based level design, it doesn't look good at all. It looked really funny sometimes. What was it? the focus points. I don't know what spent focus. I think it was like punching people and parrying and rolling spent focus points. So every once in a while you have to spend time to refocus. I think it also, like, if you have low focus, it affects your hit chance, your accuracy percentage while shooting. So every once in a while you just have to hit the button to refocus and spend the time and just like shake it off a little bit. So that was weird, but it didn't seem prevalent really to the gameplay. There were unlocks after each level. If you beat the part-time, if you didn't use any bandages, a certain shooting accuracy, and hitting like an amount of weapon types used through the level, all of those would give you a nickname that you could wear as a badge and an achievement. So it was pretty like, wow, whatever. Some reviews I watched were like, ordinarily we bitch about pointless skill trees in a game, but it really feels like this game should have had a little bit of something, some sort of permanent upgrade as you're going through the whole game. Because really it doesn't, the 5 levels don't have a whole lot of progression. It's just like you could start anywhere really if you just open the game up and it would play the same pretty much. They introduce more weapons on the enemies as you're playing through the game, but that's kind of it. There's 3 enemy types, maybe 4. There's like a fighter, there's a guy with a gun, there's a ninja guy that has more, evasiveness. I think that's it. And then bosses. Yeah, it's a really fun idea. The first time I played it, I played through like the first 2 levels. I was hooked. It was really, really fun to think about how to make your way through the levels methodically. But there's just there's something missing. It needs some more backup. It needs more depth to it. So, it's all right. The music was fine. It was pretty, the quiet, tense music from the movies. It was on par with that. I don't know if it was any licensed stuff from the movies, but it's like that tense piano playing. Yeah, I think I got this in a Humble Bundle monthly. So this and several other games for like $12 or whatever, quite a while ago. So nice. Worth the entry point. They've printed a whole bunch of copies on console, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. So it's not impossible to find, but you can't buy it online, like from an online game store, like Steam or Xbox or PlayStation. So if you can't find a copy physically, I guess you would just have to accidentally find it online somewhere.
Oops.
Insert Pirates of the Caribbean theme song in the background.
I got a jar to it. Interesting. That was not what I was fucking expecting at all. So sad news. Fallout Season 2 is coming out weekly.
Oh no.
Which means it won't be done until February. So, methinks
Minecraft movie on my big screen? On the wall projector?
Not quite. Close. There are 6 of the original Resident Evil movies.
We doing all those?
Not back to back. We alternate every other month, and then we put all the other stuff in the middle.
Let's do like the first two and see how we feel.
That's fair.
Because we got pretty tired of you talking about all the Resident Evil games.
Figured it'd be worth a shot.
We gotta cut the series short because the 8 entry series is get a little bit too long on this show.
Yeah.
We get sick of talking about it. They get sick of hearing about it. And by they, I mean your mom.
True. I figure we start off with Resident Evil, the first one, and then we do a Minecraft movie. Or we could start off with a Minecraft movie. Fuck, we could do that. One of those two options for next month.
Depends on where the wagon is in your life.
That's very true.
Thank you.
And my game will be Arctic Awakening. What
the heck is that?
It's similar in aesthetic to The Long Dark, one of my I've been playing it for 10 years long games.
Yeah.
They're finally releasing the last story chapter.
Holy shit.
Next year. Finally. After a 2-year wait for the last chapter. It's a short-ish story-based snowy survival game. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to immediately follow up with Hellblade 2. I just want a little break.
Yeah. And gotta get that console.
Gotta get my life sorted out.
Yeah.
Any clue what you're gonna do?
At this rate, it might be Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
Fuck yeah, let's go!
Inside of 1 week, I'm like 40% of the way through.
Dude, I went to GameStop probably 4 or 5 times over like a month-long period just to sell shit so I could like have gas money.
Yeah.
And every single time I was in there, they were like, "You gotta play this one."
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to, but like I'm selling you my shit.
Like I'd been told for most of the year I had to play it. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like I'll get to it, but I've become that person now. Like it's incredible. You understand the hype.
Nice.
It's strange that the hype has actually lived up to what it has promised.
It's nice being positive.
Yeah.
For once. It's nice. Sometimes
also not a good thing because I'm staying up until like 5 in.the playing this fucking game. And I need to have a life. I can't keep waking up at 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Bro, what is your life?
I need to go to work.
Fuck work.
I can't keep waking up after work starts.
It's fine. You sleep at work anyways.
No, I don't. I do not.
Okay, correction. Colin sleeps at work.
Yes, he does.
A thank you to our patrons over at patreon.com/dimecomicbros network. Caitlin and Jeff Lawrence help support this show and our normal ventures at Dime Comic Bros. Currently, our Patreon is on pause for billing, but we are still accepting new patrons, just while our main show is on hiatus while we figure some life stuff out.
Hopefully 1 more month of break, maybe more, maybe. We'll see.
Soon. We're getting there.
We'll see what the vibe is after Christmas.
Yeah, we'll vibe check in 2026.
Yeah.
If you want to get your name shouted out on all of our episodes, as well as a bunch of cool stuff like stickers, bookmarks.
Wait, that means that we need to bury Colin before New Year's. New Year's burial party.
That's fair.
Cool.
I love digging in frozen ground. It's my favorite thing. To be fair, we could put him in a shallow grave. He's kind of short.
Could try to float him downriver. Just put him in a barrel.
True.
Float him downriver.
We could do that. As well as early access to our episodes most of the time when they're on their normal release schedule, and exclusive access to happy hour segments where after most of our shows, we usually crack open a drink, talk about random bullshit. It could be more video games. It could be more comic books. It could be life stuff, politics, toenail clippings.
We always talk about those things. That usually is attached to the depends on where the wagon is parked in life.
That is very true. Dick cheese comes up sometimes.
No, I don't think so.
It definitely has.
Only yours.
And coming next month for our season 4 Dime Gaming Bros premiere happy hour will be me discussing Bible Man: A Fight for Faith, the video game.
Fucking finally.
Dude, we're doing it! We're doing it. It's going to be so miserable, but it'll be fun. It'll be a fun discussion. I have no clue what the fuck we're going to talk about today, but next month will certainly be interesting. So be sure to check out our Patreon for stuff like that. Also, a thank you to our partners over at Jetpack Comics and Games in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire.
I was there today.
Yes. Make sure you support your local hobby stores like comic book shops and board game places. Buy your stuff as locally as you can. Help keep those places running. They're great community centers. We have lots of friends in places like that. As previously mentioned, Colin's comic book, The Space Adventure, the second issue has been out for a little while now. It'll be linked in the description if you want to get in touch with him and purchase one of his wonderful comic books, which we are tangentially involved in sometimes, depending on his mood.
Translation, we call him stupid when he hasn't made another one.
That's true, and sometimes I tell him to get his ass to work, and he doesn't listen.